It's the penultimate day of December and perhaps a spectacularly rare year to which we will say farewell in a bit. Many of our activities may have lost their intended purpose or simply reshaped to accommodate the rareness of 2020. Activities like summer events, travel plans, or Christmas festivities. But let's not dispute the necessity of safety measures implemented, because simply put, COVID-19 is real. If much of your plans weren't fulfilled, Jamaica Magazine took you on quite a journey throughout this year, and it continues today. We're going to get fit and then hit the road, but of course, that's after we've seen the news. I'm Theodore Henry, and welcome to Jamaica Magazine.
We will overcome the threat.
The public health team began to develop protocols that would help to delay the entry of the virus into the country, contain its spread, and slow the transmission among the population.
We will be implementing an unprecedented $25 billion fiscal stimulus.
We remain committed to making this a decade of growth for Jamaica.
The 2020 Year in Review, January 4 to 26, 2021, Mondays to Fridays inside Jamaica Magazine. That's the 2020 Year in Review, building forward together.
Good day, I'm Stephen McHugh, and this is your JIS News for Wednesday, December 30. With an increase in road fatalities in 2020, Jamaicans are being urged to exercise greater care on the nation's roads. Up to Tuesday, 416 persons have been killed in 371 fatal crashes since the start of the year. Of that figure, 363 are males, while 53 are females. While St. Catherine accounted for 14% of the overall road users killed, the parishes of Westmoreland, St. Elizabeth, and St. James had the highest number of fatalities. Motorcyclists make up 33% of road fatalities. Pedestrians account for 20% and pedal cyclists 8%, while private motor vehicle drivers account for 15% of the road users killed since the start of the year. The Jamaica Constabulary Force JCF is calling on members of the public to report immediately persons that they believe are missing. Head of the Corporate Communications Unit, Senior Superintendent of Police Stephanie Lindsay, says persons do not have to wait 24 hours before reporting missing persons.
If a member of your family or somebody that you know is deemed to be missing, I want to emphasize that there is really no waiting time. So there's no 24 hours. Once you're of the view that the person's absence and your inability to contact that person is outside of the person's normal routine, it is not something that the person would normally do, then it is important that you make a report immediately to the nearest police station.
SSP Lindsay was speaking at a recent JIS think tank. She says if the missing person is a child, an Ananda alert will be activated immediately and alerts sent to the relevant departments and agencies that deal with children. The Superintendent of Police is also urging individuals who file missing persons reports to be open to questions asked by investigators.
We want to be sure that the person is not in any danger. If the person is likely to be in danger, who are the persons that are likely to impact the individuals? So sometimes when you go to the police station, they ask a lot of questions. We know that sometimes you're in distress and you're not comfortable because your loved one is missing. Then sometimes you believe that the police are asking too many questions. So we ask that you give as much information as possible. The more information you give, the better it is.
SSP Lindsay is also encouraging citizens to report to the relevant stations when the missing persons are found. Come 2021, the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries will be embarking on a campaign aimed at increasing the production and consumption of tilapia. Portfolio Minister Floyd Green says the drive forms part of measures to grow the aquaculture industry. While on a tour of Longville Park Farms in Clarendon on Monday, Minister Green said enormous opportunities existed for local tilapia, which had seen growth despite the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic.
But we're going to be doing a massive promotional drive to continue to drive the consumption and to dispel some of the myths, because the myths don't only affect the consumption, but it affects people going into the industry, and we want more people to go into the industry to fill the demand and to tap into the export market.
The Agriculture and Fisheries Minister also emphasized that there was a huge demand for freshwater fish ranging from 50 to 100%. He said the ministry's hatchery would be expanded to meet the growing needs of the sector.
We need to be able to satisfy that demand and also to fulfill the goal of reducing our importation of fish by growing our local production and also tapping into our export market.
In the meantime, the Fisheries Minister is calling on fish farmers to infuse new technology into their production. He says the National Fisheries Authority will be providing technical assistance to farmers and will also be coordinating tours to promote growth in the sector.
This is the sort of example we want to engage more farmers to see what is possible.
And finally, National Insurance Scheme pensioners may access their pensions as early as January 7, 2021. The Ministry of Labour and Social Security says the pension order vouchers for January may be encashed all at once at the nearest post office. The ministry is also reminding pensioners that pension vouchers can only be encashed at post offices. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Stephen McHugh. Thanks for watching.
Let's end the year strong, physically strong and mentally strong. Need some help? Here's a routine rigid enough to help you fight a virus and boost your immune system, but also thorough enough to keep you fit for the journey of 2021. We now bring you losing weight and toning your body.
You want this lean, muscular physique and well-toned body, framed for the beach, carnival parade, or just your regular dressed down or formal attire. You want to cut the fat and develop that noticeable defined muscle and shape, but not significant muscle size. There's nothing wrong with any of that, as long as you remember the most important thing is not a summer or designer body, but rather a healthy body. By doing efficient exercises and controlling your weight, you can expect to safely lose between 1 and 2 pounds a week on your journey to a more fit body. But doctors recommend that you should not lose more than 1 to 2 pounds per week. For many people, even this rate may be too aggressive in terms of dietary and exercise modifications.
That body is not just going to come overnight. It's not going to come within 2 weeks or a month, depending. It all depends on the type of activity you do, how you do it.
Within 2 months, if you stick to your exercise program and if it's done properly, you will see and feel results. Before starting any structured exercise program, however, persons should first consult with their doctor.
The reason why we need a medical approval from our doctor is that a lot of us have pre-existing health conditions and some of us are not as fit as we think. For example, in Jamaica, 4 in 10 is hypertensive and they don't know it. And it's the same with diabetes, 4 in 10 and don't know it. And our stats tell us 7 out of 10 Jamaicans die from a chronic disease. We define physical activity by intensity level and the frequency in which we do it. Frequency meaning how often we do it per week. For example, 2 times per week or 5 days per week. The intensity is the energy in which we use to perform the activity, meaning how hard you work out. There's 3 levels of intensity: low, moderate, and vigorous.
If you want to lose weight, the Ministry of Health recommends 60 minutes of moderate to vigorous exercise 5 days per week. To lose and maintain weight, 90 minutes of moderate to vigorous exercise 5 days per week is recommended. There are two main categories of exercise, namely aerobic and anaerobic exercise.
What this is saying that the body needs oxygen to break down fat that is stored in the body. All the calories stored in the body as fat need oxygen to break it down, that is in the tissue. So if you want to lose weight, you must do the aerobic activity to burn that fat that we use as energy when we're doing the activity. So the type of activities are like swimming, running, dancing. It is normally done for a long period of time.
When you decide to lose weight, you want results. Results keep you motivated and on track. Cardiovascular exercises are part of the aerobic category, and they help you trim down by burning extra calories. While this helps shed excess fat and strengthens your cardiorespiratory system, it won't build the tone in your muscles that you're after.
Now, when we talk about anaerobic activity, it is activity that does not need oxygen. It's quick, it's fast, it's snap. So most of the time, that activity will help to tone the muscles that we're looking for. But you cannot tone unless, we lose that fat. So you need to do the aerobic activity, then you do the anaerobic activity, which is like the weightlifting, the squats, the push-ups, the jumping, so that now you lose with aerobic and then you tone with anaerobic.
Calories are the name of the game when you're trying to lose weight. Eat fewer calories than you burn and the scale will respond.
Generally, we work with a 2,000 to 2,500 caloric intake per day for the general population. But for each person, their caloric requirements is different because we calculate it based on your specific age, your height, weight, gender, and how physically active you are. Females generally eat less because they carry less muscle mass than men, and so they weigh less. The range is different. For someone who is very slim and short, then maybe 1,800 would be a safe amount to say for that person. But for men, 2,100 would be the lower end of the spectrum.
You may create a caloric deficit, which will cause you to lose weight, but it's best to work with a balanced diet and exercise.
A caloric deficit is when you consume less calories than what you're using for the day. So usually persons try to cut their caloric intake significantly to lose a lot of weight at once, but consuming less than, say, 1,200 calories per day can cause you to have nutritional deficiencies. You can lose muscle and bone, and your body will also go into starvation mode so that you'll stop losing weight altogether.
That's a no-no. The best way to slim down and tone up is to combine balanced diet and exercise. And avoid fad diets such as low-carb, high-protein, or anything that deviates from a balanced diet.
In Jamaica, we have food-based dietary guidelines that are specific to the Jamaican population, but it's based on the 6 food groups in the Caribbean. So we have food from animals, staples, legumes and nuts, fruits, vegetables, and fats and oils.
Losing weight at a rate faster than 1 to 2 pounds per week and regularly skipping meals can leave you feeling extraordinarily hungry so that you binge at the next opportunity, causing weight regain. Plan for 3 balanced meals per day, in addition to 1 or 2 healthy snacks.
You want to include foods from all of your food groups. So say for example you're planning for lunch, you want to include either food from animals or a plant-based protein like beans or nuts. You have your staple foods like rice, bread or pasta, your fruits and vegetables that you can include in a salad, and you can put your fats and oils, for example, like in pear or avocado. Healthy snacks are low in fat, low in salt, and low in sugar. So you can have a fruit or vegetables, for example, carrot sticks, or you can use dried fruits and nuts. As a general guide, 1 serving of food from animals is the palm of your hand, a cup of rice is like your fist, and fats and oils is your thumb. That's 1 serving.
How are your muscles doing? Ready for the next point? This stop takes us on a historical exploration of the largest wetland area in Jamaica. On this journey, you'll be guaranteed to become allies with some creatures who've made a home in the wetness and greenness of nature.
The Black River Morass is actually the largest wetland area in Jamaica. The upper morass was used for planting rice some years ago. That has ceased, and as a result, we have lost that area. But the lower morass is still here, and it provides not just a safari boat tour, but shrimping, fishing, and there's a lot of bird life still in the lower morass. It has been declared a wetland of international importance, a Ramsar site.
The Black River Morass is home to hundreds of crocodiles, vegetation, and other aquatic animals. Through guided tours offered along the river, you can glide upstream to learn more about the wetlands and all its inhabitants.
Welcome on board the Safari Diva and welcome to the Black River Safari. My name is Roger and I'll be your captain and also your tour guide. Our trip will take us approximately 4 kilometers upstream, during which I'll show you some birds, wetland vegetation, and some of our very friendly crocodiles. Presently, we're on the Black River, and this is Jamaica's longest navigable river. It is 44 miles long, about 70 kilometers. Well, surrounding us, we have over 21,000 acres of swamp, and this is the largest wetlands in the Caribbean. It is also home for over 65 different species of birds. 17 years ago, it was estimated there was a little bit over 100 crocodiles living within the area. And since then, their number have increased as they are on the endangered species list. They were once hunted for their skin to make a nice shoes or a good handbag. They are protected. No hunting of crocodiles in Jamaica. Well, they are part of our heritage. They're on our coat of arms with the crocodiles at the top, Indians at the side.
Unlike what we may believe in Jamaica, our crocodile here, Crocodilus acutus, is one of the most docile of the crocodilian species. The thing about it is that they help to cull the fish population, the animals, the fish that are diseased or the fish that are dead, they will eat them and so on. So that it's well worth having those crocodiles here within our wetland areas.
These birds you are looking at, they are called egret, commonly known as galling. The reason for the birds to nest in this location, behind us, this is our local fish market. So once those small boat comes from sea, they'll have some food to get. In the river, we can catch big fish like tarpon. Those can get up to 200 pounds. And snook, which is a very good eating fish, can get up to 50 pounds. And the African perch, mullet, snapper, several different types. It's very good for fishing. So by the shallow edge of the river, it is also the main habitat for our freshwater shrimp. This little device I have here, this is called a shrimp trap. It is made from the bamboo plant. We'll use for bait roasted coconut, oranges, or even a piece of chicken. Now once the shrimp goes in, it's difficult for them to go out. The conical shape helps to keep them in. So we'll just hold it and twist it. It opens up so we can shake them out. It's actually very simple, but it is effective. The design came from West Africa over 200 years ago, and it is still used today. The vegetation or trees, they are called mangrove, which we have two types of mangroves tree, white and red. White mangrove, small leaves, and they are brighter in color. Red mangrove have much bigger leaves and also have those aerial root that goes into the water. It takes up all the minerals and nutrients for the tree. This section of the river we're entering, we call here Mangrove Avenue, as it forms a canopy similar to our Bamboo Avenue. These are all red mangrove trees, the ones that have the roots going into the water. In the early 1900s, the bark or skin of red mangrove was used for making a type of dye which we call tannin.
Did you know that the water in the Black River is actually clear? The river got its name due to the dark shade created by the presence of peat soil on the riverbed.
Peat soil, which is at the bed of the river, that is giving off the dark reflection. It also has its advantage and its disadvantage. The advantage, whenever time we have heavy rainfall or during hurricane, the soil, it acts as a sponge which absorbs the excess water. So we have no flooding activity within the area. However, when the water level gets too low, the peat soil, it gives off the methane gas, and with the help of sunlight it will ignite.
There are many different types of wetlands. In Jamaica, the most common wetlands are coastal mangroves, morasses, lakes, and ponds. For more information on the Black River Morass and all the other wetland areas in Jamaica, visit the National Environment and Planning Agency's website at www.nepa.gov.jm.
Another refreshing tour awaits ahead. This may require a little less traveling, but the beauty that you're about to enjoy will be one for the books. Here's the Prismatic Poinsiana.
During a stroll down any Jamaican road in the summer, prepare to be stunned by the natural beauty of one of the planet's most beautiful trees. Its flaming red, orange or yellow flower sets it apart from the other flora around. When the wind caresses its umbrella-shaped crown, its pods make an enthralling sound. Oh yes, you've encountered the Prismatic Poinsiana.
It's a very popular tree in Jamaica, and it's been planted for over 100 years.
Delonix regia is a flowering member of the bean family. It's known here in Jamaica as the Royal Poinsiana. Other parts of the Caribbean call it flamboyant, flame of the forest, or flame tree. A native of Madagascar, a country off the coast of the African continent, this striking plant is a feature of many Caribbean landscapes. It is also common in the tropical parts of Asia, the Pacific and Australia, as well as North, Central and South America. The Royal Poinsiana is the official tree of Key West, Florida. It has also been the long-standing national flower of St. Kitts and Nevis. Not surprising then that it would take its name from the man who is believed to have introduced the plant to the region, St. Kitts and Nevis's first French governor, Philippe de Poincy.
It came to us via St. Kitts and was introduced at around the same time that Castleton was formed as a botanical garden. So it got here at the same time with some other legumes, meaning trees that are in the bean family. So it's in the same section of the bean family as, say, thinking toe, which a lot of people know, and logwood.
This evergreen plant grows tall and fast, reaching heights of up to 12 meters in 6 years under favorable conditions. The Royal Poinsiana's trunk can be wide but not overly large, as it produces a light flimsy wood. Its bark is usually smooth and straight, but may extend into several stalks and grows low with regular pruning. The tree's big green buds burst open to reveal large showy pentamerous petals, complete with its fruit protruding through its center. This legume starts out soft, small and green, then ripens into a long, hard wooden brown pod.
The seeds are large, which means that they have enough food stored to just exist in a room at ambient temperature.
The plant grows easily from seeds or cuttings. As a member of the legume family, the leaves of the Royal Poinsiana are compound in nature, comprising of several little leaflets. These fern-like leaves form a dense, unmistakable umbrella-like canopy, a well-needed respite from the hot summer sun.
Because the flowers are so showy and conspicuous, lots of people like to plant it. Over the years, we have had it in many parks, and it has generally reproduced itself in any possible space that it finds suitable.
Though revered for its ornamental quality, the pods of the Royal Poinsiana are also ideal for art and craft. You can make necklaces, bracelets, or art pieces by dabbing it with some paint. You may get a percussion instrument by shaking the pods, or you can make an actual marker by placing the seeds into a calabash.
There are also studies of the chemical compounds found in the seed, but that's strictly an academic exercise. I gather from some searches that some folks in the Central American area use it medicinally.
If you're interested in brightening up your piece of the rock with this flaming forest flower, then here are some things you may need to know. While incomparable in its beauty, the Royal Poinsiana is an insect magnet. It's prone to termite infestation and has its own caterpillar that turns into a moth along its bark. And this tree sheds. So depending on how you view the world, it could be a messy pile of flowers or your own summer snow. Due to its dense shade, the Royal Poinsiana may prevent the growth of other trees. Its extensive root system may also pose a threat to your sidewalks.
It's a tree that needs to be tended if you're going to put it in your yard. But it's worth it because in a good year of blooming, it is rather spectacular.
If you're still mesmerized by this statement piece, you may purchase a plant with a color of your choosing from the forestry department.
There is much more to share. That's why we're coming back to you tomorrow with more information in a new magazine. Until then, check out our YouTube channel, and since you'll already be online, how about visiting our website at www.jis.gov.jm and following us on our Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter pages if you haven't already done so. From all of us here, I'm Theodore Henry, reminding you to exercise positivity. See you real soon.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.